Check this out. There are 1,000 orchid species in this garden alone. Okay, and over here we have the national flower of Costa Rica. Ooh, it started raining. It's really coming down fast. I'm over at the Lancaster Gardens in Cartago, Costa Rica. Okay, so all you plant lovers out there, like myself, are going to absolutely love this walk because this place is incredible. The Lancaster Botanical Garden started back in 1940 when British naturalist Charles H. Lancaster started to collect and study plants here in Costa Rica with a particular interest in epiphytic plants. While Charles was not a professional botanist himself, he did work alongside some of the top orchidologists of his time. He managed to create an astounding plant collection that has now been preserved into the botanical center that we see here today. So the botanical gardens are now maintained by the University of Costa Rica, and it's used for research and education programs, also to preserve and propagate many of the species that are endangered here in Costa Rica. So the Lancaster Garden is home to over 3,000 plants, and amongst those there are 1,000 orchid species in this garden alone. And one thing I'm really looking forward to are the miniature orchids. I read that they have over 1,000 specimens of miniature orchids and 100 species, so that should be really interesting. Just came in and I saw this incredible flower. Check this out. Aristolochia grandiflora, or here it's known as Pothos. Isn't that incredible? Okay, it's gonna be hard to keep my focus. There are just so many amazing plants. Like, check out these anthuriums right here. That is huge. Check it out. That's amazing. Some ripsalis up here in the tree, alongside some Spanish moss and some beautiful bromeliads on the bottom. Okay, and something you'll commonly find here in Costa Rica are these large pothos, and they are climbers. They're actually invasive, but there's a beautiful specimen here in the garden, and next to it there's an even more beautiful specimen of ripsalis, and it is producing some tiny little berries, as you can see. Came across something quite interesting. I've never seen this before. Chayote de Aire, Gomphocarpus, physocarpus. And this plant produces this unusual fruit. You can see there are tiny little hairs here. Almost looks like a balloon. Quite an interesting plant. It's actually a really great little place to come for an afternoon and have lunch. There's a lot of picnic tables around, and I believe that pets are allowed here as well. Alright, so over here we have some very, very lovely monsteras, and I see back there a beautiful, I think that's a philodendron, and over here is a very large anthurium. Check out the size of that anthurium. That is insane. Wow, that's probably the largest one I've ever seen in my entire life. And right next to it we have an amazing specimen of Philodendron gloriosum. And then just back there there's a new leaf coming out. So far everything is quite incredible, very impressive. Some more anthuriums over here, and it is producing seeds right over here. So something else that I've come across is some pretty cool garden art made out of bamboo. So right above me here, as you can see. And here's a collection of Philodendron Wendlandii. These are beautiful specimens, very large. And check out this guy over here. So we're just about to enter the cactus and succulent garden. This looks incredible. I'm very excited. This is going to be very interesting, folks. So they built this little greenhouse over here, full of weird and interesting cactus. And over here we have a large opuntia, and it is producing fruit. It's called nopal, and I'm not sure if it's the same kind that you get over in Mexico, but they eat the palms of the leaves in Mexico. I've actually had it. Tastes a little bit like green pepper. Here in Costa Rica, they refer to opuntias as tunas. There's just so many interesting plants. Look at this cactus. Very prickly. Definitely don't want to touch that. And this gnarly guy over here. The mosquitoes are quite bad here. I didn't know. I didn't bring any repellent, but I recommend it if you come, because yeah, there are quite a lot of them. Here's another opuntia, monacantha. Okay, this is a plant I really love. It is called the Corona de Cristo. That's the common name here in Costa Rica. And it has all of these thorns growing along the stem, but it produces some really pretty flowers. I've seen them used here in Costa Rica for hedging instead of fences. I'm sure this deters the criminals from breaking in. Wow, we have some beautiful succulents over here. Ooh, this one's quite unusual. Okay, I think I've just come across a large fire cactus tree. I just found a Stapelia gigantea, which is flowering. Here there is a Solanacereus cactus. It's an epiphytic type of cactus. They're quite beautiful. So as you can see, they have a unique shape, very much like fish bones. And this tree here is also full of Ripsalis. I also really love epiphyllums, and I found one here that's absolutely spectacular. It's really big. It doesn't have the name card, so I don't know exactly which species it is, but that is so beautiful. Look at the undulating leaves. right, I just found some more of Stopalia gigantea. I've never seen anything like it. There are so many of them here and they're all blooming. Check it out. So they produce a sort of off-putting smell. I like to refer to as rotting meat, but it is to attract flies. You can see there's a fly in this one. It's attracted to that smell. There's some flies over in this one. These ones have quite a lot of flies. Here we have these really gorgeous colocaceas. This guy over here is a Diplasium striatum. There sure are a lot of ferns here. And the building is quite beautiful, covered in this green moss. So if you guys enjoy my videos and you want to help support me, please go and like this video and make sure you subscribe to my channel. Hit the notification button so that you don't miss out on any of my new episodes. I'm always trying to show you guys the most beautiful parts of Costa Rica and the most beautiful plants, of course. Wow, look at all these heliconias. Over here they have many ginger plants, or heliconias as they're known, and you can see that their flowers vary greatly depending on the species. This one right here is quite unusual. Has these really gorgeous pink flowers. Okay, and then over here we have something I've shown you in a previous video long ago, beehive ginger. Ooh, it started raining. Of course, I don't have my raincoat again today, so I'm gonna get wet. I'm gonna head towards the greenhouse. It's really coming down fast. Woo! I have to show you this. This is a Philodendron davidsonii, and I absolutely love these. I have one of these at home. They are cultivated here in Costa Rica, but check out the size of that. So while I have a minute here, I'm just hiding from the rain. Just a few things about this botanical garden. It has one of the largest collections of miniature orchids. So as I told you in the beginning, I am going to try to find those and show you guys because I love miniature orchids. Let's just hope the rain lets up a little bit. I'm thoroughly drenched. So I'm in the greenhouse now, and as soon as you come in, you're greeted by lots of orchids. This is going to be exciting. There's some of the most beautiful orchids here in this botanical garden. This is the Crustacea cochleata, or the national flower of Belize, also called the pulpito. Isn't that beautiful? And over here we have the national flower of Venezuela, the Cattleya mosii. And this one's quite unique. This is the national flower of Honduras, the Rhincolalia digbiana. I'm probably butchering that name, but there you have it. And another stunner right here. And this one is found from Mexico all the way to Costa Rica. And the national flower of Colombia, the Cattleya trianae. One that's really common, a lot of people have these in their garden, is the Lluvia de Oro. It's a beautiful orchid that produces these golden yellow flowers. Wow, and I've never seen one like this one. This is a brown colored orchid. Look at those flowers. It does not have a name on it, so unfortunately I can't tell you guys what this is. I'll just have to look it up. I love this. Alright, these here are really incredible for their form alone. Almost looks like a giant spider or an insect. Caraserum maculatum. And look at the unusual shape of this orchid. Okay, and over here we have the national flower of Costa Rica, the Guardia Morada. This was deemed the official flower of Costa Rica in 1939. So we found one of the miniature orchids that they have here. And this is so tiny, I probably won't be able to capture it really well on the GoPro. So I'm gonna take a photo with my phone and upload that for you guys so you can see it. It's pretty spectacular, to be honest. Another even tinier orchid right here. This is so small. And if you put my hand next to it, you can actually see how small those are. Found a very interesting plant because it has a really interesting name. Dracula erythrochaite. I don't know if I'm saying that right. And it has a very peculiar flower. I don't know if you can see that very well over here. Okay, another miniature orchid over here. These flowers are so tiny. I don't even know how you'd see these in the wild, at least not with my eyesight. Absolutely beautiful. There's been so many fascinating orchids here, but this one guys, it's pretty cool. Wait, but the one behind it is also really cool. Okay, I'll show you both of them. They're really cool. Look at that. Just look at those colors. Isn't that incredible? And the one behind it is over here, which also has incredibly beautiful flowers. I've never seen anything like it, ever. What a collection. All the flowers here are so wonderful. This place is amazing. So much to look at. Now, I only had about 2 hours to see the whole place, and obviously I want to film everything and take photos, so I haven't really gotten a chance to see every section of this botanical garden, so I'll probably have to come back. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this tour of this botanical garden. If you guys need more info, you can check the link down below in the description. Again, just a reminder guys, if you like this kind of content and you want me to keep creating, please go ahead and subscribe to my channel. This helps me grow, and like the video. And I hope you guys really enjoyed this. I will see you on the next one. Thanks for watching.